Hey everybody, it is Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from Breitbart dated November 1st. And I'm sure that this is something that everybody's seen at least by this point. Um, and it is that woke Marvel turned Blade into a women's film filled with life lessons. And I know this has been reported on in the circles I run in. Ryan Kinnell has made some videos on this. Yellow Flash has. I think Ethan Van Sciver's talked about it. Gary from Nerdrotic has talked about it on live streams. So this is going to be old news by the time you're listening to it. And by the time you're listening to this, I am actually on vacation. So I figured while I'm on vacation, I'm going to have videos out that aren't really time sensitive or current news. So again, this is why it's being reported late from my channel, is just because I am not around to keep up on the current events. All right, so let's just get into it. So, it says the Disney Grooming Syndicate had originally planned to release Marvel's reboot of Blade this year, and you won't believe the madness that has held it up. Actually, you will. Because as we all know, Marvel's biggest problem is that it is dying due to its affirmative action programs. Rather than making universal entertainment for a universal audience, a philosophy that had led Marvel to gross $32 billion from 30 films in the pre woke Iron Man era, Marvel is now obsessed with left wing identity politics. While no one objects to women led action films like Terminator 2, Aliens, Resident Evil, we do object to being told again and again that there's something wrong with being a man and that women, racial minorities, and homosexuals are virtuous simply because they are women, racial minorities, and homosexuals. Instead of creating fascinating characters, Marvel is pandering and pandering and propagandizing makes for lousy storytelling. Nevertheless, despite this glaring problem, in a lengthy, detailed piece examining Marvel's downfall, and that is linked right here if you want to see it from Variety, says the far left Variety could only hint at it in this section. It says emphasis added. As public criticism mounts, Feige, that's Kevin Feige, who runs Marvel Studios, is pulling the plug on scripts and projects that aren't working. Case in point, the Blade reboot. With Mahershala Ali signed on for the eponymous role of of a vampire, as well as of the vampire, says things look promising for a 2023 release date. But the project has gone through at least 5 writers, 2 directors, and 1 shutdown 6 weeks before production. One person familiar with the script permutations say the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons. Blade was relegated to the 4th lead, a bizarre idea considering that the studio had a 2-time Oscar winner, Ali, on board. Yeah, can you imagine going to see a movie with any character? It doesn't matter if it was Blade or not. And the name of the movie, the character in the movie, is not one of the top 3 leads in the film. You'd kind of be like, huh? And think about the Wesley Snipes Blade movies, regardless of what you think about like the third one, which is everyone's least favorite. But think about those, and then think about like Wesley Snipes not really being in those movies that much and being pushed to the back for and then talking about the movie, talking about life lessons. You'd be like, what the hell is going on? So the article from Variety continues. The quote here, it says, amid reports that Ali was ready to exit over script issues, which I have heard a few times, Feige went back to the drawing board and hired Michael Green, the Oscar-nominated writer of Logan, to start anew. Speculation around town is that the studio is looking to make the film, now slated for 2025, on a budget of less than 100 million, a deviation from Marvel's big spending strategy. And that could totally be done for less than 100 million. I mean, Blade is not like a Avengers level character where he's going to be out there fighting in space against Thanos or anything like that. He's a street level character that's more along the lines of like Daredevil. So it says, how broken is Disney Marvel that double Oscar winner Ali was signed on his Blade, and the screening process was still avowed to get so out of control, so enamored with identity politics, that a comic book movie about a vampire turned into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons, and Blade relegated to the 4th lead. That is one broken system. Oop, says that's a DEI cult right there. It's diversity, equity, and inclusion. I can't even imagine the millions wasted on the screenplay process. Yeah, no shit. As Disney stockholders should be furious. Says, hey, remember when the corporate media and Marvel erased Wesley Snipes so they could falsely claim Black Panther was the first superhero brought to the screen? Oh, I remember that for sure. Because Black Panther wasn't even the first Black Marvel superhero. Blade is a Marvel superhero, and Snipes starred in the trilogy of Blade films, and the first 2 were pretty good. Yeah, and that's when people were saying, like, back then, when Black Panther, like, oh, these are the first Marvel-led black superhero. People were like, there were 3 Blade movies that happened like a decade beforehand. Was the most recent one? Like, what are you talking about? Uh, so it says that's just one more example of how craven and deceitful these present-day identity freaks are. Also of note, no one celebrated Snipes playing Blade. No one was told to celebrate the fact Snipes is black. No one paid attention or even thought about it. We were still a sane country in 1998, a colorblind country. No one had to emotionally blackmail us to go see a Wesley Snipes movie because Wesley Snipes is black. The fact that Wesley Snipes is Wesley Snipes was enough, and everybody liked Wesley Snipes. So as far as Marvel's claim it will produce this Blade reboot for less than 100 million, don't make me guffaw. This stupid company was spending $23 million per episode on that widely hated She-Hulk TV series. Disney couldn't produce my butt for less than like 250 million. Liars. So yeah, definitely, yeah, this is ridiculous. They're spending $23 million per episode on She-Hulk. And I think I read somewhere too, or heard somewhere, I'm sure I heard it somewhere, that the final, like, that was more than like episodes in the final season of Game of Thrones, which is again pretty ridiculous. So what do you guys think about this? What do you think about it? Like, do you think the MCU is going under? Because I think it is, and I don't know. I don't know what this is from. This looks familiar, but I don't know what movie it's from. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.